Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl the Cobra Froch. Whilst I've got you, please like, share and subscribe to this video. Right, this week we're going to do a good old-fashioned questions and answers session. You've sent in hundreds of questions, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Rachel, over to you.
So Michael asks, who is your best friend in boxing apart from Robert McCracken?
My best friend in boxing has to be David Hay. I've known him for years. I can remember actually the first time I walked in the England squad, that was at the Crystal Palace in London. I think I was 22, 1998, 1999, after I won the ABAs. Around about that time anyway. So I'd have been 22 years old. I can remember walking in to the gym at the Crystal Palace down in London. You have to get a train down from Nottingham, then you have to get a connecting train to Crystal Palace. Then you walk with this big heavy bag for the weekend. The weekend's a train, that's all we used to do. But anyway, I walked in the gym and David Hay was sparring. I think I got there a bit late. David Hay was sparring. I don't know who it was. And he just looked good. He had low guard. He had a sharp jab. He was throwing the lead uppercut as well, which not many amateurs do. And I thought, wow, he's really good. And so we kind of gelled from that moment. When he finished the sparring, I went over and introduced myself, said hello to him. And that's well over 25 years ago. It's a long time ago. But I then remember David Hay quite vividly in the ABAs. I think it was a semi-final down at the York Hall Bethnal Green, the famous York Hall Bethnal Green. The amateur quarterfinals, amateur boxing quarterfinals and semi-finals, I think it was, of the ABAs. I remember watching him and he walked in with this like matrix leather jacket, like a big leather Mac. And he's bowling around with his braids in his hair, looking all like Don. He looked a bit like Genuine. I don't know if anyone remembers that artist, Genuine, but he looked like him. He had his little beard all sharp up. Anyway, he got in the ring and he got Sparkoed by a guy called Jim Twite. I think Jim Twite closed his eyes and threw a right hand, hit David down the chin, and he wasn't out cold because he got up and then he sort of stumbled and fell over again. And I just thought, maybe he's not that good. But I was wrong because it was brilliant, David Hay. What a great fighter. But yeah, to answer your question, my best friend out of boxing, other than Rob McCracken, is David Hay.
Anthony asks, if you boxed George Groves 10 times, both in your prime, what would be the end result out of 10?
Prime George Groves against the prime Cobra. 10 times out of 10. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Can I say 10 out of 10? I think I can. I think I'd have beat him 10 times out of 10. Listen, the first time I boxed him, albeit a little bit of a controversial early stoppage by the great A-star referee that is Howard Foster, it was a bad night for me and I still won the fight. And then in the rematch, I trained properly and I was in not my prime because I was 36 years old. And I ironed out the Grovesy boy in front of 80,000 at Wembley Stadium. So I think if we'd have fought 10 times out of 10, the best Groves versus the best me, the Cobra, I think I beat him 10 times, got to be honest. But it's a good question. It's worth asking. I think 10-0 to the Cobra.
You were always going to say that, weren't you?
Obviously. Because it's the correct answer.
Luke asks, Burger King or McDonald's?
Burger King or McDonald's? Processed foods. Listen, I used to eat a little bit of fast food when you have to. When you're forced to position, you're on the road, it's late, you're starving, you drive past the McDonald's. So to answer your question, probably McDonald's, but I think that's just because there's more McDonald's than Burger King. If that's a fact, I'm not sure. But anything that's fast food, it's got fast processed foods. They're full of preservatives, and I tend to just swerve them now. I don't indulge in anything like that. I think it's rubbish, bad for you, creates lots of future problems with your health. So Burger King or McDonald's, to be honest, neither.
Keith asks, who wins, AJ or Zhang?
AJ or Zhang, what a great fight. I think that's a close fight that could go either way. If the old AJ turns up, the old AJ that beat Dillian White, the guy that climbed off the canvas against Klitschko, and the guy who took on Joseph Parker, Carlos Takam, and looked good, putting combination punches together, had self-belief, and he was on his front foot. I think that guy beats Zhang because Zhang's 41 years old, and I think although he's a monster puncher and a big, strong lad, we saw what he did to Joe Joyce at the weekend. I just think Anthony Joshua beats Zhang. But right now, I think that Zhang beats Anthony Joshua. And I know Eddie Hearn mentioned.
Yeah, do you want me to say what Eddie Hearn says?
Yeah, go
on. Joshua's a different animal to Zhang. The speed, the combinations, that would be frightening to watch.
Frightening to watch. It'd be frightening to watch if AJ threw a combination, and Zhang slipped it and clipped him with that straight left from the southpaw position, followed by the right hook. That'd be frightening for you. But listen, I know what Eddie Hearn's saying, and you also know what he's doing. He promotes Anthony Joshua, so he's got to big him up. And I just said there, I think AJ beats Zhang, but the old AJ, the AJ pre getting done by Ruiz, because that guy was a combination puncher, quite a powerful guy. He can knock people out. We saw it in his last fight with Helenius, hit him with a right hand and now sparkoed him. So
is that guy there anymore?
That's what I'm saying. Is that guy there anymore? That's a great question. In my opinion, no. But Tony Bellew always says if Anthony Joshua is forced to fight, if Deontay Wilder comes for him or if Zhang comes for him, AJ will be forced to respond. That could be the case, and that would be interesting. But AJ Zhang, great fight. I just think Zhang would be the favourite for me going into that fight. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'd love the belts to be in Britain, and I'd love Anthony Joshua to get back on top because it's good for boxing. It's good for everybody involved.
Cam says, prime Lennox Lewis or prime Tyson Fury?
Lennox Lewis. And the reason I was hesitant is because Fury is obviously big enough and skillful enough and light enough on his feet and fast combinations to give anybody a hard fight and give anybody trouble. But I think Lennox Lewis, especially the prime Lewis that smashed Andrew Golota down onto the floor, crumbled him, rematched Hassan Rahman after getting chin and just belted him. And he's been in there with the best of the best. He's been in there with the elite. Maybe he got a couple of his opponents just past the best, like a Mike Tyson, maybe just on the slide. But Lewis has got a far better resume. He's an all-time great, if not the best great from Britain, unified heavyweight champion. And I said last week, Tyson Fury, you look at his resume, okay, he's a brilliant fighter and he's potentially one of the best, especially if he ends up fighting and beating Usyk and goes down that road and maybe gets a fight with Anthony Joshua, which we all want. But at the minute, looking at the resume, looking at the records, I'd say Lennox Lewis beats Tyson Fury. If he doesn't knock him out, he dominates him, and I think dominates him behind them big combination punches. Too strong, too big for him, puts him on his back foot and hurts him and gets him beat up for a points decision. I think Tyson Fury would be on a bit of a survival mode. He'd be boxing on his back foot, trying to out-trick him and out-hustle him. Lewis would close the range, use his size and strength, and belt him with that big right hand. So yeah, Lennox Lewis beats Tyson Fury, in my humble opinion.
Warrior King David says, do you still play the guitar?
Warrior King David is looking for aggravation between husband and wife because he knows I still play the guitar.
And I'm going to say,
and he knows,
don't you dare.
He knows there's always a guitar handy. But I'm not going to give you any tunes because...
You tone deaf.
Yeah, I'm going to sing, am I? No, I do still play the guitar. But I'm not going to play the guitar. But yeah, I do still play. I love the guitar. My son Rocco plays brilliant. He can listen to a tune on YouTube, Rocco can, and play it. He was doing some Cypress Hill the other day, the Tequila Sunrise, the intro to that. He listens to the song, watches it for 5 minutes, and then finds his way, navigates his way around the guitar. Kids have just got amazing brains that soak up information. And yeah, because he plays the guitar, I still have a little play and a go. So to answer your question, yes.
What's your favourite song to play on the guitar?
Favourite song to play? I'm a bit of a country and western type man, and Bradley Cooper and that what was that film?
Oh, you like that one, don't you, with Lady Gaga?
Yeah. What is it? What's the song?
I don't know the song. Just don't sing it.
Tell me something.
Oh, here we go.
That's the one. I don't know what it's called. Shallow.
That's it. Yeah. Minky7 says, what did you make of Frank Smith's comments about builders?
So yeah, Frank Smith having a go at builders and putting them all into a category as you don't deserve to know. You don't know what you're talking about because you're a builder. It's ridiculous. Lots of highly intelligent, qualified skillsmen that are on building sites, as I know too well myself. But to also give them stick, you're actually having a go at the main bulk of boxing fans. You know, people that subscribe to boxing, people that watch this channel, people that support boxing. A lot of them will be some way associated with the building game. So I think it was a stupid thing for him to say. I think he's put his foot in his mouth. I think he should really maybe come out and apologise and said, I didn't mean it that way. I know Eddie Hearns had something to say about it. But yeah, I think that Frank Smith really needs to come back with something now, following on from having a go at builders, because they just want clarity on the Conor Benn situation. I understand he's defending Conor Benn and the whole drugs testing issue, but to say that builders and we, the fans, don't deserve to know because it's got nothing to do with us, I think it's ignorant. I think it's a bit stupid, and I think he needs to rectify the situation. Frankie boy, get out there and put an apology, and we'll all forgive you. So that's it for another week, another episode. I can't even concentrate.
What are you
Don't worry about what I'm doing. I've got a job to do today on the building site. Anyway, another episode of Froch on fighting. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe. Very important. This is the fastest growing boxing channel on YouTube. But then again, I'm just a builder. So what do I know? That's a hard hat, by the way. A very stylish one. Rach, do you want to come and say goodbye and close the show?
Yeah. We'll see you next week.